Hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books and talk about books, no special effects, no theme music. It's probably why my channel is doing so horribly. So I'd appreciate y'all if you'd hit the likes and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job here. Oh look, a co-host. There's a whole bunch of videos going around now. Why I should quit YouTube. I'm probably a prime example of somebody that probably should. I like making the videos though. I like reading the books. Gives me something to do. And I'm hoping that y'all will continue to stay with me during this journey. But the channel is moving massively slowly. It's been over a year now. Every time I get 2-3 subscribers, 4 of you unsub. So I'm always in the negative for the week. I don't know what's going on. But I'm asking you to join me this week as we say goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but we have to wait for September for the new one. Oh, God, it's going to be a hard couple days. I'm going to read through these, and then it's it for September. And I'm like, I'm going to wait for September. But anyways, we are doing book 55, I believe. Where's my little note? I think it's 55. 55 or 56. I have to double check. Encore in Death. Eve Dallas is a lieutenant with the New York City Police and Security Department. Peabody is her partner. McNabb is Peabody's cohab, and he's also a detective in EDD. Feeney is Eve's mentor and trained her, and he's captain of EDD. Whitney is her superior officer. Kyung is the media specialist. Nadine First is a reporter. She has her own television show. She's a crime reporter. Mavis Freestone is one of her closest friends, and is getting a new house, and she's going to be housing with Peabody. So we're all excited about the new house. However long it takes them to actually move in said house. It's been a few books now, and Jenkinson and Reinecke are in her bullpen, and Baxter and Trueheart are part of her department too. We'll be seeing a little bit of them. Mira is the department shrink. Rio is the APA. And Rourke is her husband, and Somerset is the major domo. And we've got an interesting jacket here of a theater ticket. And it says Upstage, date September 22, 2061, 8 p.m., Section E, seat 5-6. And, shoot, unless you want to hear me sneeze, I must take a break for a second. So, there's this lady. She's a big-time actress. She's won over 50 Tony Awards. And she's having this big party. Her husband is also a big actor. And they're having this big, huge party. And then he's going to leave. He's going to go to Australia to film on scene. You know, they want to have it an accurate scene. And they're going to film, on set way out in Australia. And she's not too happy about that, but they're having this big, huge party. She's going to be starring in a new show, Broadway show. She's all excited. They have this big party. And it's set perfectly. She gets a glass of champagne. She's like, oh, I'm going to go sing. Here, honey, hold this. He drinks, he dies, but she's up on stage singing. Alibi. So, and I always love, when I do these books, I have to share my enthusiasm with you, and by sharing some of the story. And I want to post it now, and I'm going to post it later too. That since I've already done a review of Payback in Death, but I want to reread um, before we open. I'm going to ask y'all if you'll join me tomorrow uh, to read some Payback in Death. Enjoy that with me to share some of my special what I think are some special character moments in the book. We'll go through it a little bit tomorrow, and then we will start Random in Death. I'm anxious to get started. I'm anxious to open this box. I've had it for like 3 weeks now, and I really want to open it and get on with it. And then we've got some other series to tackle. We still got to finish Patterson. So where is my glasses? So, the wife, Eve, goes to the scene to interview, and she says, now this is a little hint, I guess. Ms. Lane, why do you believe someone caused your husband's death? Because I saw him. I saw my Brant. He was dying in my arms, and his fingernails were going blue. I smelled almonds. I know you did too, she said to Sylvie when a friend came out with a glass of water on a small tray. Oh, Eliza, yes. Oh, God, I did. But cyanide, just like in body of the crime. The body of what crime? A vid, Sylvie explained, while fresh tears leaked. Eliza and I met making that vid. Sylvie and I played sisters. It must have been 15 years ago now. Sylvie's character put cyanide in brandy to kill a man pursuing me for my fortune. A man she loved who betrayed her for money and planned to kill me. Interesting. So she questions the guests for a few chapters. I think this is with Rock. After spending several chapters questioning guests and other people at the party, she goes home, and she's talking to Rourke, and she says, this is the next day. She smelled coffee and yearned. Even the financial news headlined Bransford's death, Rourke said conversationally. I had a meet with Singapore shortly ago, and it wound its way into the conversation. So did you. Me? Because the idea annoyed. She scowled as she rose to hit the auto chef for coffee. Why? Lieutenant Dallas, who solved the iCove case and starred in the person of Marlo Dunn in the Oscar-winning vid The iCove Agenda, has taken charge of the investigation of the Brant Fitzhugh murder. You don't solve a case, you close it. Take that up with the reporter. He smiled at her. When a star of Fitzhugh's magnitude dies in his wife's arm, which was captured on camera, the media will run with it for days, if not weeks. Add you and two of your high-profiling cases as the thrust for two best-selling books. Damn it, Nadine! Well then, Lieutenant, there's a cargo hold of juice to squeeze. Laminations and tributes are pouring in, from Hollywood, Broadway, across the globe. He was an important man, and as I said, a well-respected man. And I will tell you, I have a little itty-bitty pet peeve. You'll have to double-check for, my accuracy on this statement, but I do believe Fitzhugh, quote-unquote, has been a victim of murder at least 2, possibly 3 times in previous books. I'm just saying. So she and Rourke talk. She goes and reviews the scene, goes questioning some other suspects, some other witnesses. Whitney calls her. He wants to do a press conference. You know how Eve hates those press conferences, absolutely hates them. And he's like, be here at 9 for, and she's like, no. I've got all this stuff to do. I need to do all this stuff. And he's like, all right, noon. We'll push it to noon because he was a big star. And I wonder where it was. Oh, this was important. Well, it has nothing. Well, it's not a. I think it's really important, and I might write this down for future reviews of these. Even the although I don't think it pertains as much to the Patterson books, but I thought this was a good statement, and I would probably use it for all future Eve books. And it should have been used for previous books, and it's in here again, and I'll have to find it. I've always wanted to write down this statement. Well, not this one, but the next one that I'll give you later. But Whitney offers her some additional help to solve this case because it's such a high-profile case. And she says, "Sir, we've barely begun the investigation, but we are making considerable progress in the initial process. I've already pulled 3 additional detectives into that process and assigned uniforms for Miss Lane's security. I don't feel the need at this point for additional officers to take up routine procedures." Whitney nodded, tapped his fingers together. "What you're not saying is within hours of this murder, the NYPSD will add considerable manpower and budget to this single investigation because the victim is famous." He hadn't reached the position of command without knowing how to interpret even a carefully worded statement, so she laid it out plainly. "I have 2 detectives working the stabbing death of a waiter, a mixed-race male, age 30, sliced up on his way home from work. This is day 3 of that investigation. There's been no demand for immediate conference, no additional manpower or budgetary increase. He had a 6-month-old son, but he wasn't famous. Your point, Lieutenant, carries the weight of morality and the heft of equality, but it doesn't account for politics or the voraciousness of the media, who carries its own weight. I have no doubt your detectives will pursue this victim's killer as delicately as you will choose." So, make that point. We do some more investigating. She talks to Mira. She does some more interviews. She talks to Nadine. Eve tells Nadine they arrest a stalker. He really isn't anything too important. But so this famous actor's been murdered, and Eve is investigating his murder. And they always say the first suspect is the wife, or the spouse, should I say. But she was up on stage singing, so she couldn't have done it because she was up on stage singing. And she thoroughly, absolutely admits to the fact that she gave her husband the beverage that was meant for her. So, I mean, it's mentioned several times. But I don't see why. Yeah, no, this is no biggie. So let's see. So we're talking about the house, and Mavis and Peabody are going to be. They divided a house. It's a pretty huge house. It's huge enough that Peabody and McNabb will get their own living area, their own dining room, several bathrooms, several bedrooms. They'll get offices. They'll get a work area. They'll get a kitchen. They're getting a huge piece of the house. And Mavis is getting she's getting living quarters. She's getting guest rooms. She's getting a recording studio. She's getting the kids' rooms. She's getting a whole. So this has to be a massively huge house. And Peabody loves to talk about the house. Absolutely, that's a new topic, and it's been like 3 or 4 books now, and I want that house to be finished so we can start enjoying that house. And so while they're in between interviews, she goes, "All right, 2 minutes, talk." "Right, okay. I'm starting with our side because you didn't get over there last time. Our kitchen's finished. You saw Mavis's and it's so her, all that color. Ours is well quieter. I love my cabinets and so much counter space. I'm going to bake my ass off. And last week, when we were clear, I worked on the water feature. August the nanny pitched in. He's great handy and it's going to be completely uptown. She sucked in air. The main level powder room's done. We have a main level powder room. It's so pretty. I can't decide on the colors for my craft room. I'm going to have my very own craft room. One minute I think I want to go really bold, and the next maybe I should go soft so all the yarns and fabrics put on the shelf. But I found this terrific old curvy divan in a thrift shop. I need to reupholster it, but it'd be perfect once I decide on bold or soft. Next day off, we're going to sputter paint our home office. With McNabb's blood? Ah, no. Just take all kinds of paint, dip the brush, then flick it at the walls. Crazy fun patterns, lots of energy. We figured we wanted lots of energy in our office. My dad's building us a partner's desk. He's building a desk, a partner's desk. You sit on opposite sides of it. It's perfect for us, and it's so sweet of him. My mom's making us the light for the dining room. You can make lights? If you're my mom, you can. Blown glass pendants. I'll have pieces of them in my home. McNabb's parents shipped us some rocks from Scotland. Rocks? His uncle carved our names into them, all our names. Melvis, Mavis, Bella, Leonardo, McNabb. So she does her house talk. Then they do some more interviews. And she's has a while she's at home. This isn't the big moment, no. There's a really big moment in this book, and I'm going to read all of it because it's a big moment and because I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's the best. As the killer because she didn't drink it, she gave it to him. She's the spouse, and the spouse is always a contender. Is that part of the marriage rules? It's in the what do you call it forward, the pros and cons of marriage. He had to laugh. You have a list of pros and cons? Sure. She released the hold and stepped out. It's a general list or specific to us? Oh, you've got your own separate pal list. The coffee and the sex weigh heavily on the pro side. But in general, pros are companionship, accessibility to free sex, like minds are close enough, if you're lucky, somebody who tolerates your flaws, and so on. Cons are potentially cheating, etc. It's so cute. It's so cute. So they do some more interviews the next day. She talks to Feeney. She has a light bulb moment. So that's one of the spoilers. I won't give that to you. It's a key moment in the case that breaks open the door that leads to a whole wide new field of suspects. Because the whole time she's leaning this way, and then with this light bulb moment, she leans that way. And then there's a couple of more moments where you could go that way or that way, and you think she's got the killer, and things don't pan out. And so she talks more about the case. Oh, I like it. You know, we like the repartee with Somerset. We just love it. And let's see. Where did I rate that? When they walked in, Somerset stood scarecrow thin in funeral black, with the pudge of a cat at his feet. Together, no visible blood stains or bruises, and barely an hour late, a red-letter date. We had drinks with two luminaries of stage and screen, Rourke told him, effectively cutting off Eve's snark du jour, Eliza Lane and Sylvie Bowen. The media's been ripe all day on Brian Fitzhugh's murderer. I enjoyed your media conference, Lieutenant. That makes one of us. So she talks to more people. We get a backstory on the character. Um, Opposing view, even oh, I don't want to read it. Why did I want this? Um, oh, she's trying to make a comparison or pro and con thing, and she says, um, but it's her fault for profiting fame and fortune wise from it. She plans to do it again, and there's the whole payback is a salad thing. He looked at as he really did, baffled. And you know how Eve mixes up the words all the time and she's forever getting things wrong. And we really don't know if she's doing that on purpose or if she's genuinely, truly getting it wrong. Um, uh, all right, you've lost me. How is payback like a salad thing? It doesn't have to be hot, right? You eat it cold, a salad. Ah, I think we've gone around this one before. So I should have gotten it. Revenge, darling, is a dish best served cold. Um, so she does some more stuff with her bard and more detecting work. And then the next morning, she says, where is it? I gave Peabody a couple of minutes to bubble away on her kitchen yesterday on the way to Queens. It's lovely. Would you like to see it? Sure. And then he shows her pictures of the kitchen for Peabody. I thought that was a cute moment. Some more detecting work. And I like sharing these cute moments. I hope you enjoy these cute moments because I enjoy these character development moments. I do. I really do. The doors opened again. Two uniforms flanked a pair of women. One wailed, "Oh, yeah, I. This is a doesn't have anything to do with the plot." And I thought it was because of Eve and because I'm a New Yorker, a former New Yorker, New York, Long Island. Um, I miss those bacon, egg, and cheese. Anybody got a bacon, egg, and cheese? Or a real New York pizza? Or hell yeah, potato salad. I need some deli potato salad. Anybody got deli potato salad? The doors opened again. And leaf cookies. I forgot about those. The doors opened again. Two uniforms flanked a pair of women. One wailed high enough to shatter glass. He stole my purse. I had everything in my purse. What kind of place is it where somebody can just grab your purse right out of your hand? Eve thought, New York, as she pushed her way up. She heard the second woman's unmistakably excited reply, It's going to be okay, Winnie. Eve aimed for the glides. How much do you want to bet Winnie had her purse dangling off her arm while she goggled up at a building over 10 stories or a pair of shoes in a shop window? Since it's a sure thing, $1 million, can I borrow $1 million? It was cute. It was cute. You can read the rest of the scene for yourself. Um, we have an appearance by the candy thief. Nora has said that she will probably never reveal who the candy thief is. My personal opinion is that the candy thief is Nora and that she's written herself into the books that way. But so we'll have to. Everybody's got their own view on it. It's a contention among the fans. but that's my belief that it's Nora, and she's just written herself into the story. So then she talks to some other people in the case, and one of the potential suspects, they find something in a room and they holler into Central, and it doesn't work out. But Eve has to go to the bank to get some records, and the bank clerk is such a big fan that she gives everything to Eve that she requests without a warrant. And Nadine does some research, but this is the big scene. This is the absolute big scene. And I'm going to spoil you rotten for it because it's the absolute big scene and it's a really good scene. And I am just over the hills about it. There was another scene too that I really need to look at. I must have skipped it. Wait a second. Where did this go? Wait a second. Okay. It hasn't happened yet. So, Rourke does this amazing thing. And I'm going to share it with you because it's amazing. And it just, and I have to share this with you because I enjoy it so much. And I'm hoping you're still here to hear this. The analytics say that you drop off after 50 seconds, so you haven't heard any of this. And I'm also hoping that you will stick around tomorrow and read Payback with me. So she's having a day, and things have gone 6 ways to Sunday. And Rourke walks in, and he, what's this? Your anniversary gift. Jesus, it's not our anniversary yet, and I'm not looking for a present. I'm maybe going off on a tangent here, she added, shoving at her hair again. I just need to lay it out and see. Open the bloody box, Eve. Damn it, fine. She shoved up and yanked off the top and stared inside. What the hell? I'm wearing the magic lining. She held her jacket open to prove it. It's not like somebody tries to stun or knife me every shift. Why a big-ass box of more? These aren't for you, Lieutenant. They are for your bullpen, the group at least. I don't. She could only stare at him. Why? We've been working with your commander and Tibble and others on this project for a while. The one you're wearing was the prototype, and once we had the tech, we've been able to begin producing, which took a bit of time, as people will come in different sizes and shapes. I'll take a bit more time to produce enough to outfit the entire NYPSD. After some negotiation, it was agreed to begin with homicide with your bullpen. Negotiation is a happier word than ultimatum. Rock Industries will donate the Thin Shield, the brand name, to the NYPSD at no cost. With the agreement, your division gets the first produced. Happy anniversary, a bit ahead of schedule. She walked away from him. She had to. She walked away to rest her forehead on the glass of her skinny window. Every time I think I have most of all this figured out, you throw in a curve. You flatten me. You just flatten me. You wear that under your jacket for me. You wear it primarily so I worry less. You're in charge of everyone out there, people I've come to know and care for through you. This makes them a bit safer and you'll worry less. They're cops! The job means, I know what it means, to you, to those under your command, to others I know here. I can't and won't say it means to all with a badge what it does to you, to them. For some, it's only about power and a license to wield it how they choose. I've known too many of that ilk to say otherwise. But you'll outfit the entire department. I've neither the time nor the inclination to comb through and judge the deserving. I married a cop and she works for the NYPSD. Whitney cleared you to distribute. They're labeled with name and rank. She turned back to him, her eyes brimming with emotion that flooded through her. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, that could mean more to me than you knowing what this means to me. She went to him, pressed her face to his shoulder as his arms came around her. Absolutely nothing. she murmured. I can't get the words out. The ones you did worked fine. And then Peabody's like, oh, Peabody, Eve said, her eyes still on Rook. I need someone who's not in the field, in the bullpen, ASAP. Sure, okay. When Peabody hurried off, Rook kissed Eve. Let me know if you manage another round with your suspect and we'll run late. Uh, Stop. She actually put her hands over her ears. You're about to math stress me. It's the straight line, point by point, and bent into the circle. I have to work on that. Heads up. And she takes Rourke out into the bullpen. This division is the first recipient of the thin shield body armor. She opened her jacket. If you have any questions about this new safety issue, you can ask the guy here who came up with it. I can tell you from personal experience, it stops a sharp, a stun, and a bullet. It's lightweight and can and will go under your jacket, just like your weapons or your uniform. Chief Tibble and Commander Whitney have accepted this donation to the homicide initially, and the whole of NYPST to follow from Rourke Industries. I am gratefully accept same as lieutenant of this division. And this is the motto, and I've got to write it down so I have it for separate books, because they don't say it in every book, but they do say it quite often. No matter your race, creed, sexual orientation, or political affiliation, we protect and serve, because you could get dead, even if you were an asshole. And it's just awesome. It's just absolutely awesome. I just love this whole scene. And it goes on for a couple more pages. And you can read that. But the other big thing in this book that tickles me pink is we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for Eve to do this. To do this. We've wanted her to do it for so long. So long. And she did it in the last book. She did it in not the last book, the book before that. She asked Rourke because one of the lady was killed the night she was supposed to go away with this guy, and they went to interview this guy, and he didn't care. He absolutely did not care. He had no knowledge of her disappearing, did not care if she disappeared. He moved on. They were supposed to go away that night, and she had her bag packed with frilly underwears and champagne and all these kind of frills, and she was looking forward to a romantic weekend, and he couldn't care less. And he had told her minutes, he's like, I've decided not to go. And it broke her heart, and on her way home from work, she got kidnapped. And his attitude towards the whole thing just irked Eve so badly. And we've been wanting her to, there's been other characters that have been like this too in previous books. And we wanted her to do this so bad. And she finally did it. I think it was abandoned in death. And she finally said to Rourke, maybe you could buy this building and then we could fire the guy and kick him out. And he says to her, yeah, well, pizza was the default choice, but I resisted. Fish and chips is kind of your comfort food, so I get points for that. You do indeed. He poured one generously into the glasses. Thanks for this. You do the same for me. You do the same for pretty much always. We've both had a day, haven't we? And though you no doubt have more work, here's to the end of it. He tipped his glass to hers, and before I ask about yours, there's some news you have interest in. I know. Peabody chose the paint color for her craft room. Don't keep me in suspense. It is passion pink or blissful blue. Or maybe, just maybe, she went wild with orange. I can't wait to hear. Laughing, he nudged her into a chair, then took his own. I believe she's nearly there, but it's regarding another piece of property, Lower West. Don't you already own the Lower West? Wait, Is this the Mary Kay Covino's ex-asshole that fucker Tegan Stone, the bar with his apartment above? It is. Negotiations with the building owner finalized shortly ago. He toasted her again, drank, then sampled the fish while she rained a monsoon of salt on everything. Then you get to kick him the hell out, see how he likes it. Thought that would be up to you. You bought it. Her jaw dropped. I did not. Once the papers are drawn up and you sign, you will have it. It's a good investment. Solid bones there and an excellent location. I'd advise investing another $250, $300 into it. Give it a good polish and upgrade. You don't mean it's 1,000, 300,000. It's worth doing. There are other tenants, of course, but the inconvenience to them could be minimized and the benefit to them worth the inconvenience if you decide to concentrate the work mainly on the commercial area and the unit above. Stoner's and his eye-bang and discard woman apartment. Rock sampled the chip. His unit doesn't have that vibe, does it? Well, in point of fact, the commercial area needs some work on the infrastructure, which is why negotiations took a bit of time. Enjoying himself, he drank some wine before he continued. Of course, with that kind of investment and the time it takes for the polish and upgrade, the current bar owner may need to find another venue for his business. Up to you. It's kind of mean, but all I have to do is think of Covino locked in the basement for days. That's on Dorber, but Stone sure as hell added to it by not giving a rat's ass. But I don't know what to do with a damn building, how to polish and upgrade. I can't go around owning a building. Aren't you lucky to have someone who not only knows but enjoys it? You find, after all, and a bloody good one at that. Now your day. And they go on to it. Eve talks to Nadine. There's a whole rest of the case, but that's pretty much it. Those are the two huge highlights of the book, is the coat and the property. We get a little update on that and a little update on the house. And I'm really hoping that you will join me tomorrow for Payback in Death as we enjoy this and go through it a second time before we unbox this. I hope you will join me. Thank you.